It was supposed to be a normal summer morning on our ranch. Emily had just returned from a school event and was heading home. The sun was shining, and everything seemed peaceful. None of us knew our lives were about to change forever. Emily walked down the quiet gravel road alone. She had traveled this route hundreds of times before. Nothing seemed unusual at first. Then she noticed a vehicle slowly approaching. An orange HOA security SUV pulled up beside her. A man stepped out and called her name. Emily immediately felt uneasy. Something about the situation didn't feel right. The men claimed they were conducting HOA business. They started asking personal questions. Emily became uncomfortable. She knew she shouldn't trust strangers. One of the men told her to come with them. They insisted they needed to verify information. Emily refused immediately. Her instincts told her something was wrong. Instead of listening to them, Emily reached for her phone. Her hands shook as she dialed my number. She tried to stay calm. I could hear the fear in her voice. The moment I answered, everything changed. Years of Navy SEAL training kicked in instantly. I asked for her location. Then I headed out the door. I jumped into my truck and started driving. Dust flew behind me as I sped down the road. Every second felt like an hour. My only goal was reaching Emily. Meanwhile, Emily stood her ground. The men continued pressuring her. But she refused to leave with them. She knew help was on the way. Then she saw my truck appear in the distance. Relief washed over her face. The fake HOA officers turned around. They had no idea what was coming. I stepped out of the truck calmly. Emily ran straight to my side. The men suddenly looked less confident. The situation was about to change. I placed myself between Emily and the strangers. No one was going near my daughter. The men tried acting professional, but their nervous expressions told another story. I asked them who they were. Then I asked why they were bothering Emily. Their answers were vague and confusing. Nothing they said made sense. The leader pulled out some paperwork. He claimed it gave them authority. I looked over every page carefully. Several things immediately stood out. The documents looked suspicious. Important details were missing. Official seals appeared incorrect. My doubts continued to grow. I decided to verify everything myself. Pulling out my phone, I made a call. The men exchanged worried looks. They clearly didn't like that idea. While I spoke on the phone, they grew uneasy. Their confidence started fading. One of them even stepped backward. Something was making them nervous. The person on the line confirmed my suspicions. No legitimate HOA operation had been authorized. The paperwork wasn't recognized. The entire story was falling apart. I thanked the caller and hung up. Then I looked directly at the men. Their faces had changed completely. Now they knew they had a problem. The excuses started immediately. Each explanation contradicted the last. The more they talked, the worse it sounded. Nobody believed them anymore. Several neighbors noticed the commotion. They began gathering nearby. People wanted to know what was happening. The audience kept growing. Residents started sharing their own experiences. Many had encountered these men before. Some stories sounded very familiar. A troubling pattern emerged. One neighbor stepped forward and spoke up. Then another joined in. The fake officers became visibly uncomfortable. The truth was getting harder to hide. The crowd continued growing. Questions came from every direction. The officers struggled to answer them. Their story was collapsing fast. I encouraged everyone to remain calm. Facts were more important than emotions. Evidence would reveal the truth. And that's exactly what happened. Soon, an official county vehicle arrived. Everyone turned to watch. The atmosphere instantly changed. Professional investigators took over. The officials carefully reviewed the documents. Every page was inspected. Every claim was examined. The findings were not good for the officers. Records were checked against official databases. Information was verified. The facts became crystal clear. The paperwork could not be trusted. The officers struggled to answer questions. Their confidence disappeared completely. The investigators noticed every inconsistency. The pressure kept building. Emily stayed close beside me. I reassured her everything would be okay. She had handled the situation perfectly. I couldn't have been more proud. After reviewing all the evidence, officials reached a conclusion. The men had no authority to act as they had. Their claims were rejected. The community finally got answers. Residents reacted with shock. Many couldn't believe what they were hearing. Trust had been broken. But the truth was finally out. The officers stood silently. Their intimidating attitude was gone. The crowd saw them very differently now. Their act was over. Neighbors checked on Emily. Everyone wanted to make sure she was okay. The support meant a lot to our family. It reminded us how strong communities can be. I thanked the officials for their professionalism. They had handled everything fairly. The investigation brought clarity. And accountability followed. The community learned an important lesson. People should always verify authority. Asking questions is not disrespectful. It's responsible. As the afternoon faded, residents returned home. The road slowly became quiet again. The tension finally disappeared. Peace returned to the neighborhood. Emily and I walked together toward the ranch. She asked if everything was finally over. I smiled and nodded. The worst was behind us. We stopped near a fence overlooking the fields. The sunset painted the sky gold and orange. Emily had shown remarkable courage, and I wanted her to know it. That day reminded us what truly matters: family, courage, and common sense. Standing up for what's right isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like and subscribe for more HOA stories every day. Your support helps us create more incredible content for this community. And before you go, tell us in the comments, where are you watching from today?